Hi everyone. This video is the first in a series on equations. We're going to discuss what is an equation, how to solve an equation, does every equation have a solution, as well as how do I know if a value is a solution to an equation. So let's get started. The concept of equals, where one thing is equal to another, is very important in mathematics, and it's something you deal with a lot at school level mathematics. Another concept that's important is what makes one thing equal to another, and that is what an equation is. So an equation is a statement that the values of two mathematical expressions are equal, indicated by the equal sign. So at this point, you should already know what mathematical expression is. So a mathematical expression could be something like 5x plus 2, or a different mathematical expression could be 3x minus 1. What an equation does is it sets the expressions equal to each other. Another example of an equation could be something like this. 2x minus 1 is equal to x squared. You can also have an equation where you have different variables. You could have y is equal to 3x squared minus 1. So in each of these examples, I have two expressions being made equal to each other. So in the first example, 5x plus 2 is an expression and 3x minus 1 is an expression. In the second example, 2x minus 1 is an expression and x squared is an expression. And in the third example, y is an expression and 3x squared minus 1 is an expression. Now solving an equation is determining what value is the unknown equal to make the equation true. So if your equation was 2x is equal to 10, then the solution would be x is equal to 5 because 2 times 5 is equal to 10. Or if your equation was 3x minus 1 is 11, my solution would be x is equal to 4 because 3 times 4 is 12 minus 1 is 11. Sometimes you'll find that the solution has a different name and sometimes they call it the root. But for now, I'm going to stick to the use of the word solution. Now you might be tempted to think that every equation has a solution. But some equations have more than one solution. Let's consider the equation x squared is equal to 4. Now if you chose my solution as x is equal to 2, then I could check to see if that's true. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. But another solution could be x is equal to negative 2. And if I work that out, negative 2 times negative 2 gives me negative times negative is a positive 4. So the first thing to notice is that some equations have more than one solution. Let's consider another example. What if I had 2x plus 1 is equal to x plus 1? Now if you consider the value on the right, x plus x is 2x plus 1. Can you see that this equation will be true no matter what the x value is? So in this case, we could say that x could be anything. That brings me to my second observation. Some equations can have infinitely many solutions. Let's look at one last example. What if I had x plus 2 is equal to x minus 6? Now if you consider this equation, there's no possible value to make my equation true. So this equation would have no solution. That brings me to my final observation. Some equations can have no solution. Now generally when you start equations, you're going to get equations that have only one solution. But it's important to be aware that you could have more than one solution, or you could have many solutions, or you could have no solutions. Now lastly, let's see how you can check if a value is a solution. So let's say my equation is 2x squared plus 6 is equal to 22. Could x equal to negative 3? Now the way I'm going to check that is by substituting x is equal to negative 3 into my equation. So let's just look on the left. So my left, LHS stands for left-hand side, 2 times negative 3 squared plus 6. Remember the squared only applies to what it's next to, so 2 times by negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9 plus 6. 18 plus 6 is 24. Now 24 and 22 are not equal. So x equals to negative 3 is not a solution. Let's look at another example. Let's say I have 3x plus 5 is equal to 2x plus 1. And I want to ask, could x equal to negative 4? Now let's see, my left-hand side will be 3 times negative 4 plus 5. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12 plus 5 gives me negative 7. My right-hand side will be 2 times negative 4 plus 1. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8 plus 1 is equal to negative 7. So therefore, my left-hand side is equal to my right-hand side. So I can say x is equal to negative 4 is a solution. Now the way that I've checked my solutions in these two examples by showing the left-hand side or the right-hand side is a common way to check solutions in equations. However, you don't always need to show your steps when checking a solution. Often you can check the solution mentally and know that you're correct. This brings me to the end of the first video in my series on equations.